What's up, connoisseurs? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also the channel that was created by a retail investor for retail investors and home to the best MJ community. Today is Saturday. It's September 7th. Hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to do another rapid-fire news update for the period August 31st to September 6th. And again, it's not to go into deep dive details. It's just a high-level overview. Also, I'm looking after my daughter at the moment, so if you hear her in the background, she's just playing with some toys. So before we get to it, make sure to smash like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And this is not financial advice. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say. This is for entertainment purposes only. Shout out to all the new channel members, getting a ton of new members, so I really do appreciate all of the support. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So we'll jump right to the news. There's a lot to go over, and it just seems like there's never a dull moment. Unfortunately, the prices are not reflecting all of the momentum that we're seeing from a fundamental standpoint, but eventually it will get caught up and we will see prices recover, and this industry isn't going anywhere. And Trump says Florida MJ legalization ballot measure will be very good for the state, and adding that medical use is absolutely amazing for patients. And he said he's talked to multiple doctors, and it's just been absolutely amazing. So you love to see it. And he also met with top MJ company CEO, which was TrueLeaf, the CEO of TrueLeaf, Kim Rivers, and Florida GOP senator before supporting legalization measure. And he said that, other states like New York didn't really do it properly, and he thinks that Florida is doing it really, really good. 94% of nurse practitioner students say medical MJ should be legalized across the country as we continue to see more and more support. Also, ACLU pledges to push for MJ legalization and expand clemency if Harris is elected president. And there's been many reports saying that she's ready to sign bills as well if she gets put in power again. Also, a poll shows that swing state voters support MJ legalization, highlighting opportunity for presidential campaigns. And in my opinion, there's no coincidence that we're seeing Trump come out at the same time, because he's a smart man. Whether or not you support him, don't support him, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. I'm a Canadian, so I can't even, it doesn't matter to me. I just want what's best for MJ. And what's best is both of these campaigns start to pump the ever-loving hell out of this amazing plant and medicine of the future. Hopefully that's what happens. And like I said, these swing states are probably going to be a big reason that they do that, and try to get those young voters out as well and sway younger voters. Also, High Tide launched its next-gen CannaCabana 2.0 website. I wasn't very impressed with it. It was a little lackluster, not going to lie. I found a bunch of bugs in the first few hours that the site was launched. I think I probably found like 3 or 4 bugs right out of the gate, but I'm not sure who's doing their testing of their website. Maybe they just had a lot of users or something like that, but I don't think there'd be that many users just, waiting for this new website to launch, to bog down the website and see so much traffic. I think it's not, an issue with regards to traffic. I think it's more, again, on the programming and on the back end side, but it did seem to get a little bit better the next day. But hopefully they can work out those kinks, because the old website was not very good, not going to lie. Also, Tilray Brands completes acquisition of craft beer brands and breweries from Molson Coors Beverage Company. And then we also had news that Tilray Brands is cutting jobs in its drinks operations. They were able to identify overlap and whatnot. So in order to cut down on cost of goods sold and SG&A and whatnot, they're likely to continue to do this, right? Because we know they're inching towards profitability, but not quite there yet. Also, Volkswagen launches project to use hemp as a sustainable leather alternative for its car interiors. So again, this is the industrial portion of it, and this is going to be a very, very big industry. And speaking of hemp, Tilray Brands CEO, I just posted an interview on Schwab, and he said that they're getting ready to launch their hemp drinks soon. So we should see that. Really could be any week now, and they're going to be launching in Texas and New Jersey to start, but they'll more than likely follow suit with CureLeaf and start to support all 25 states that they can currently support. Also, MJ producer Organogram closes on second tranche and reaps $41.5 million from British American Tobacco. Love to see it. Younger patients are using medical MJ for anxiety, PTSD, and chronic pain, study shows. So again, we're starting to see more and more studies, more and more research, and it's going to continue to expand as we see rescheduling, right? And medicine of the future is it's just we've only scratched the surface. We don't really know to what degree this is going to be, a next generational type of medicine. And like I said, couple that with AI, you never know. Like, we might cure some some serious illnesses and diseases out there with the help of AI and this medicine of the future. Also, Trulieve opens relocated dispensary in Tucson, Arizona. And then we had DeSantis continuing to clown, Ron DeClown, continuing his clown activities, and says he continues to push against Florida MJ legalization initiative despite Trump's support and new polling. So this guy just, again, hates America, hates the American people, hates Florida apparently because like majority of them want it. This guy is just doing the bidding for the big alcohol, big tobacco, in my opinion, big pharma. And there's some actual news coming out on that in just a moment. But U.S. MJ consumers have spent more than $4.1 billion on pre-rolled joints in the past year and a half, industry report finds. So this is a huge segment, right? Boris Jordan, Curaleaf CEO, now the CEO, he said that he believes that flower is going to be the biggest, and then we're going to see beverages being the second biggest format, which is very bold. And I would agree. I'm not sure, maybe in the second, but definitely, top three maybe long term, because you're going to see tons of events and venues, whatnot. You're not going to be able to go in an inside event, like let's say you're going to a hockey game or something like that. You're going to see the Colorado Avalanche play. Well, there's no place to smoke indoor. You can't smoke cigarettes. You can't vape. So what are they going to turn to? They're going to turn to drinks, right? MJ infused drinks. So going to be a huge segment as well. But yeah, the pre-rolls are just absolutely blowing up. Also, New Hampshire legislature to hold hearing on MJ legalization next week as game theory continues to play out, and just a matter of time. It's, I think, 38 states now legal in some format, and we could be 25 states, half the U.S., if Florida approves adult use legalization here come November, which I think they will, and it'll get enacted at some point in summer of 2025. Also, Trulieve, speaking of Florida, set to open medical MJ dispensary in Clearwater. The new retail facility in Pinellas County will host a grand opening September 13th, making the company's 149th location in Florida. So obviously going to be a big beneficiary of adult use. And Curaleaf's a big one there as well. AYR, I think Verano, and Cresco as well. But I think Curaleaf is getting up there in terms of they're really starting to expand their capacity in the state of Florida. MJ legalization. Oh, did you just say dada? Dada. MJ legalization is a significant threat to alcohol industry because people substitute MJ for beer and wine, and analysis finds. So again, Curaleaf, Tilray, they're getting into Green Thumb was talking about buying Sam Adams and Boston Beer, so we'll see what happens there. But as you can see, there's a lot of overlap here, and this is why there's been so much. The shackles are still on the industry, right? They're trying to hold it back for as long as possible. Like I said, I used to work for a pharmaceutical company, and all they could talk about, and they were part of the opioid crisis. And after that, big lawsuits and stuff like happened with regards to that. All they could talk about was CBD and cannabinoids for like the next 2 years, right? They just had to figure out how to get their paws on it, and that's what's happening. It's the big alcohol, big tobacco, big pharma, and they're trying to slow this industry down as much as possible. And I think it's very smart for these companies that are getting involved into craft beer and into spirits and wine, because you're going to be able to infuse these with them, and it's not going to have any alcohol in them. But if you can sell alcohol as well, I think craft beer, that's why I like Tilray's approach. I think craft beer is on the up and up. And I'm from Alberta, Canada, and we call it Alberta because there's so many craft breweries now, and it's just insane. Like when I go to a craft brewery, some of my favorite ones, you almost can't get in. There's so many people lined up. It's just, this segment is going to absolutely explode, and I think it's brilliant that these companies are going to get involved in that, because they're looking for a healthier alternative, and they don't like the hangovers and things like that, right? Also, Kamala Harris supports descheduling MJ, along with over 100 members of U.S. Congress from the MJ Herald. So shout out to Anthony Martinelli. He actually joined the Powell Group private community, so welcome. One of the newest members to the Powell Group private community. I really do appreciate all of the work that you do, and it definitely doesn't go unnoticed. So kudos, keep up the great work, and love to see it, right? It's just a matter of when, not if, that we finally get descheduling. I think rescheduling to Schedule 3 will get passed as the most likely scenario. Incremental steps, and then eventually we'll get to descheduling. Right? We have the CAOA, we have the MORE Act, States Act, all of these things that are really starting to bring to light that we need to embrace this, right, and give people what they want. And speaking of people, Florida, new poll finds 64% plan to vote in favor of Amendment 3 to legalize recreational marijuana. This is great to see, and again by the MJ Herald. This is this is huge, right? I said that I've been saying for many months now that I think that it's going to pass, and I said it was going to come somewhere around that mid 60s, so around 65%. And here we are, new poll showing 64%, so we're right on track. And the fact that Trump is endorsing it as well, it just goes to show you that this probably is going to get across the finish line. So you got to love to see it. Also, U.S. House federal legislation to allow MJ Banking gains new sponsor, and that is now bringing it to a total of 130. Congressmember Betty McCollum has joined as a co-sponsor for the Safe Banking Act, bringing the total number of sponsors to the measure to 130. So we could very well see banking passed in a lame duck session before the new administration is inaugurated. And we could see uplisting, safe harbor, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. We could see rescheduling in 2025. I think Florida's going to pass adult use. We have Germany fast tracking Pillar 2. We could see excise tax improvement in Canada. There's so many bullish catalysts on the horizon. We just have to be patient. And unfortunately, the stock prices aren't reflective of a company's value. And I love the quote. I've said it many times now. The stock market is full of people who know the price of everything but the value of nothing. And just because you're looking at the price does not mean that a company is good or bad, or is not going to stand the test of time, right? Like Amazon dropped 95% in the .com days, and now look, right? So it happens to every new emerging, burgeoning, and disruptive market, right? So going in it there, let me know what you think of all this news. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on the next video.